your host and life coach, Rabia, and we're talking birds, bees, butterflies, and blooms, growing food in garden rooms, home-based holistic healing, and much more. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or nature lover, plant assassin, or permaculture professional, we got you. We got you. Let us bring you the ideas, the facts, support, and inspiration to go green wherever you are. Sundays 9 to 10 a.m. only on Radio Al Ansar.
Look at this
Radio Al Ansar.
bird, it's flying so high. Look at the stars.
Hey, it's Green Thumbs Up Day. It is Sunday fun day. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning. Goeiemorgen, my vrienden. And Sunny Bonani. And I'm Rabia Carvalho, and this is Green Thumbs Up. We are that natural living show, that touch of gardening show, that sustainable living today show that you didn't know you needed, but you did, because with me in studio is Brother Siboniso Mkhize. Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hiya, how are you?
Oh, he's got all the energy today. He's got all the beans today. Wa alaikum salam. Folks, you can join us on all the socials. Siboniso, you've got something in your hand. What is that? Are you looking at the weather already? He's ahead of time. I'm telling you, he's got his things together today. Alhamdulillah. So today we have an interesting show planned, and I want to do a lead-in by asking you a question.
Yebo.
What do you call plastic wrapped in fabric?
Plastic wrap.
In fabric. If you know the answers, 0609041056. If you're on the socials, Al Ansar YouTube or Facebook, that's fine. Insta, right? If you're wanting to join me as well, I'm on my TikTok Life Coach Robbie. You're welcome to do all of those. What do you call plastic wrapped in fabric? That is the question. Now, I'm going to wait for that question a little bit because I want to tell you a little joke. Siboniso. So there was this chap and he gave his wife $100,000, okay, to have plastic surgery because they'd kept arguing. Eventually they got divorced and he wanted to get her back. So he was, plowing her with money for plastic surgery. But there's a problem. She did the plastic surgery and now he can't get his money back and he doesn't know who to look for. Because she has changed. So, folks, a little bit of a lead-in into what we're going to be talking to today is definitely going to be sustainable living. We're going to cover the weather first. We're going to look at some moon gardening tips for the week if you're in South Africa. And then we are very, very briefly, we'll run through that because I've got so many zero waste and sustainable living tips for you that is a lot. But we already have the questions and the comments coming in. Let's take that question first. This is from Sister Shaida Bibi Khan. She says, please help. My plant is wilting. Not sure how to water. The leaves are all falling. Now, she sent us 2 pictures. And what you're looking at there is a lover's tree. So it's called a lover's tree because what they do is they plant 2 small trees together. And as those trees grow, they kind of weave the trunk of one through the other. And when I am looking at this plant, it's sitting in a corner. There is light coming in from the window, but perhaps too much heat. The pot is also quite small, so the leaves are falling off. You may find that your plant is pot bound. It could be that. It could be just too much heat. And I wonder, when last you fed it? The leaves are falling while it is winter, but this little particular plant should be an evergreen. So my advice to you would be take it outdoors, plant it, replant it, give it a little bit of composting and put it in a place where there is lots of lovely sunshine because the plants love the sunshine. Another message, quickly, we're taking these, so many coming in. We love all of your questions and sometimes we don't get to the content and that's fine. Because you, our listeners, come first. So, question that's come in here. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam. Please let me know. Natural remedy for high blood pressure. Jazakallah. Okay, so first of all, let's just say any advice we give on this show, Sibuniso, it's not a replacement for medical advice. It's for education purposes. So folks, always consult with your medical practitioners. High blood pressure particularly is not something you want to fiddle-fadaddle with. You want to have it measured. So you should be keeping your eye on your pressure and finding out if that pressure is higher, normal, or what it is. But to lower it, there is a beautiful thing called berberine. And I always talk about berberine because not only does it lower your high blood pressure, but it also lowers your blood sugar. And so you would, the normal dosage for that is 500 milligrams in the morning and 500 milligrams late afternoon. But high blood pressure is so much more complicated than throwing a supplement at it. It involves also the kinds of things that you eat. So you need to watch out for things that are going to drive your blood pressure. It involves your stress levels. So something that's going to manage your cortisol levels may be as simple a practice as journaling. And also understanding that sometimes if you think people are after you, it's because they are. And so you need to kind of work around it, and no really is a full sentence and it doesn't require an explanation. So trying to manage your eating is also very important. Let's go to the weather before we forget all about the weather, because this week's weather is going to be too beautiful. Sponiso, the weather is in Devon. 24 degrees today, 26 tomorrow. You'd say we're in summer. And then 26 on Tuesday, 22 on Wednesday, a little bit cloudy on Wednesday only, and Saturday. But the rest of the week is balmy and beautiful, as always, in Durban. Johannesburg hasn't quite caught up. They're still in winter. Yeah. Shame, man. Shame on them. Yay, boy. They're always sitting there in the winter, in the cold weather. And it's only 19 degrees for them with a minimum of 9. High shame. But guess what, folks? It is going to get warmer to the point that by Friday, you're going to be boiling because it's going to be 27. And for Joburg, temperatures in the winter, 27 is hot. Cape Town, we've got 17 degrees, holding out until Tuesday when you're going to get lots of rain. For the rest of the week, you'll have rain. Sorry, Cape Town. Them's the breaks, unfortunately. But alhamdulillah, because you know what? The rain is just what we need. Rain is barakah. It is blessings. It is a perfect time to do that thing to lower your cholesterol levels, your cortisol levels, which is pray, meditate, relax, and write. Sister Fatima Bibi Ismail says, lovely topic. Salam, Rabia, wa alaikum salam. Lovely topic, sustainable living. And she is excited about something that's coming up in the gardening field. There are various plant fairs going on at this time of the year. So look around, folks, because it's important. Let's talk about our Tisain of the morning. As you know, on a Sunday, we have a Sunday Tisain, which is a Sunday herbal something that I concoct for myself and Sibuniso here in studio, and you can then replicate in your home. So what have I got today? And have you tasted it, Sibuniso? Have you tasted it, first of all? And what is your judgment, O Council of Tisains? What do you think of it?
Let me just have a sip again.
He's forgotten what it tastes like. He's busy ticking on his phone. You know, our sound engineers have got so much going on. Yeah. They're busy trying to organize everything at the same time. So is it tasty though?
Yeah.
It is tasty. Hundreds. Okay, great. So what we've got here, folks, is we've got the 3 C's. We've got cardamom, cloves, and cayenne pepper, just a pinch of cayenne pepper as a base, to which we then, once it has boiled up for about 10 minutes, simmered nicely, we then add orange. So we've got a golden yellow cover tea, beautiful, and it does taste of orange. We have added a little honey this morning because life is too short for no honey. And sometimes we want the honeys. Right. A message from Brother Mo, and he says, Sayyidina Thuban, reported messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, said, the hour of Qiyamah will not be established until tribes from my ummah join the idolaters and they worship idols. Verily, there will be 30 impostors from my ummah, all of them claiming to be a Nabi, but I am the seal of the Anbiya, plural of Nabi. There is no Nabi after me. Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah for sharing that with us. And we have two readouts. Firstly, I must tell you all, if you have not yet heard, October the 11th is the Breakfast Rush Family Fun Run and Walk. Beautiful time to get out into nature. So I hope you're going to join them. You join them at 7 o'clock in the morning at Blue Lagoon Lawns. You meet up there on Saturday, October the 11th, and you join in on all the action. And of course, that's going to be a picturesque 5-kilometer route, taking in the sights of the magnificent Moses Mabhida Stadium, and the breathtaking Durban Promenade. You must register online. Don't forget, go to our website. That's www.alansar.org.za. That's an exciting one coming out. But before that happens, guess what's happening? Artificial intelligence.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so there is an AI seminar coming up that's been prepared by Sumaya Khan from School Matters, and that is taking place on September the 6th.
The 6th of September.
6th of September from 9 in the morning to 1 p.m. So it's a good time. It's a Saturday, so you can do that. The tickets are 150 Rand. It's going to take place at Al Ansar Hall, 189 West Road in Overport. And you can contact the Al Ansar Bookshop, right, to register and to get your tickets. So this is for educators, lecturers, tutors, learners. We're talking about how educators can embrace AI ethically and effectively. We're going to be talking about AI-powered teaching and assessment tools, very important nowadays, particularly with students studying virtually and that whole aspect of plagiarism. And I know in the mornings I am with a university most days, managing teaching there, and I find that we're getting more and more of these things. So it's a very important one to look at challenges and opportunities in AI integration. They've got live demos, they've got speakers, they've got an interactive QA, and you get a certificate of attendance. So why not join them? Tickets are only 150, and that is Saturday, September the 6th from 9 to 1 p.m. And that is championed by our very own School Matters, our very own sister Sumaya Khan. And she's going to be heading that up for you. So now, I asked a question earlier on, what do you call plastic wrapped in fabric? And nobody got the answer. Kim Kardashian is the answer. I know. Unexpected. Kim Kardashian, plastic wrapped in fabric. Okay, so then here's the other thing I wanted to tell you. Another joke, all right? This one chap, his wife said she wanted full liposuction. It's a meanie joke, this one. It's a mean joke, okay? Just so you know in advance, it's a bit of a dark humor joke. The wife said she wanted full-on liposuction because she needed to suction off the fat on her body because burning it off wasn't working, and she'd been trying to burn off excess fat for a very long time. So the husband looked at the plastic surgeon's estimate and he told her that the most cost-effective would be cremation. I warned you it was going to be a bit dark joke. Yeah, speaking of plastic surgeons, you know that they are the only ones that encourage you to pick your nose. You need to choose your nose. So if you are doing some moon gardening this week, from the 17th to the 23rd of August, this is a time when you focus on weeding, you focus on pest control and harvesting, because it's the waning moon. We are moving towards the new moon. So what happens is that the gravitational pull on water is weaker. The moon pulls on the water on planet Earth and on us as well. So when it's pulling less, then the water is not going, up to the plant. So that's not the time when you're wanting to be germinating plants. You want to focus on weeding, controlling pests, harvesting, and of course preparing your soil. It's not a strict rule, of course, but if you do gardening, lunar gardening, then that is a tip for you. Now, I am drinking from a glass cup. Sibonisi is drinking from a glass cup. And you notice, Sibonisi, there's all this move towards paper cups. You go to any takeaway, they give you coffee in a paper cup. And everybody thinks they're doing something good for an environment because it's paper cup. Did you know that paper cups contain plastic? Inside that paper is a very fine line. So you're actually not drinking from paper. You're drinking from a small plastic bag. So people put their paper cups into paper recycling. Very difficult to do because there's plastic in them paper cups. And that goes into the landfills. And yeah, so the other things that contain plastic that you might not know about is tea bags. Many tea bags nowadays are sealed with polypropylene plastic. Did you know that, dear listeners?
Tea bags.
Yeah. And chewing gum will give you microplastics because a lot of the chewing gum nowadays is actually not natural gum, but it's a synthetic polymer. So you're chewing bits of plastic. Yeah. Did you know that? Yes. Aluminum cans. Aluminum. Isn't that how they say it in America? Aluminum cans. Aluminium. The inside coating also has a thin plastic liner. So if you're thinking of taking your empty cool drink cans and putting them into your garden, because that is going to give your garden the metals, not heavy metals, but the metals that it needs in order to grow. You can do that with sardine tins, but you cannot do that with your normal drinking cans. Don't put those in the ground because they also have a thin line of plastic. Normally it's based on epoxy, which contains BPA, and that then goes into your foods. Also, you know these plastic straws?
Yeah.
They replace them with paper straws.
Oh, yeah.
I've
seen that.
But guess what? Paper straws contain plastic. Otherwise, they would not hold.
Sure.
I hate paper straws, not going to lie.
Me too.
Those things, they stick to your lips. They stick to your lips. They yank on your lips when you're trying to drink, and they dry as a bone. They are dry. But we think we're doing good, and we're not. They're still plastic. They're coated in a thin layer of plastic for what? To keep the liquid in. So we think we're helping the tortoises and the turtles by having paper straws, when in actual fact, guess what? We are not. Speaking of which, speaking again of plastic, when I was growing up, and I know many of you listeners probably feel the same, when we often there was no talk of, we stayed away from talk of things like Botox, right? We stayed away from talk of Botox. But nowadays, when you mention Botox, no one raises an eyebrow. What else contains hidden fibers of plastic? Some clothings. These fast fashion items that you get from these stores that advertise. I don't even have to say the name because I say fast fashion, you'll know. You get them for like next to nothing from overseas, and they deliver to you within 10 days. And it's like getting parcels in the post, right? Those ones. They're often polyester clothing, nylon, acrylic. These are all synthetic plastics that release microfibers in the washing. Anything that's also not pure cotton, but a cotton blend contains hidden polyester. And guess what? Plastic fibers. Yeah, the fleece jackets, those big bomber jackets we used in the 80s coming back into fashion. They're made from the same stuff as cool drink bottles. Plastic is not fantastic. And then, of course, your what they call vegan leather sometimes are polyurethane, PVC. That's plastic. In terms of your home items, get this. Receipts, those receipts you get with the thermal printing, that often contains plastic film. Those juice boxes that you think your kiddies are having, that's just cardboard. Guess what? It's cardboard infused with thin plastic and sometimes tinfoil. That's what the kids are drinking from. And those microplastics will get into our kiddies. Wet wipes and baby wipes can contain polyester fibers. Again, labeled cloth-like, but they ain't. Disposable masks and bandages. Remember, during the pandemics, all of us bought masks by the ton loads. Yes, polypropylene plastics that have been woven up. Your compostable bags and cutlery. You get these compostable bags from the spa and you think you're going to put them in the garden. Don't. They actually contain bioplastic and it needs industrial composting, not home composting. Even your sponges and your scrubbing pads at home contain plastic. Toothpaste, not so much the new brands of toothpaste, but the older ones, those toothpaste tubes, plastic. Your face and your body scrubs with those beautiful micro beads. Plastic exfoliants, that's what they are, plastic. Sanitary pads, and yes, ladies, tampons often contain plastic. Dental floss, yep, often nylon, it's plastic. Kitchen, your non-stick pans made from PTFE, plastic. Your canned food linings, your baking paper. If you're not getting baking paper from a reliable source, they are sometimes coated with silicone, and that is, guess what? Plastic. Yes, and outdoors. Smokers, if you've got cigarette filters, those are plastic. It's a cellulose acetate. It's not cotton. Kiddies playing with glitter, that's plastic. Acrylic paints, that's plastic. Microplastics, that's what they are. Your garden jute or your garden twine, plastic, normally blended with plastic. And your fake grass, of course, is plastic. Now, we've got some tips for you on how to stop yourself from throwing away so much food. And Sister Miriam, before we go to the ad break, Sister Miriam says, Salam, Sister Rabia. Walaikum salam. Shukran for lovely program. I have this batch of enthusiastic lemons. I love what she says, enthusiastic lemons from the garden, waiting to be sorted out. I'm not one for the regular lemon pickle. What suggestions do you have for a sweetish relish? Well, we're going to throw it out to the listeners if you have some recipes, and I will give you a recipe after the ad break. So let's take those ads and be right back and help Sister Miriam out, folks. 060-904-1056.
You know what really gets under my skin? When my cake or icing just doesn't come out right. It's such a bummer. But I found this incredible margarine called Wooden Spoon, and it's been a total lifesaver for my baking adventures. It makes my icing turn out just perfect every time. When I whip up something with Wooden Spoon, I feel like a master baker. Seriously, my cakes have never looked better. The secret? Wooden Spoon margarine. It's like the magic ingredient for nailing those perfect bakes. And guess what? It's even endorsed by the South African Bakers Guild Association. Just another quality product from the Willowton Group.
WhatsApp us now on 060-904-1056.
Ladies, are you or a loved one diagnosed with cancer, or are you on treatment, or are you a cancer survivor? Then the Al Ansar Cancer Support Group is for you. Join us once a month and be a part of a supportive group of ladies to simply chat, discuss challenges, and be motivated by our guest speakers. Contact Rubina Parath on 082-786-8815 or Zora Jadwat on 082-220-3131 for more information. No one should face cancer alone.
Sunday Lounge. The Sunday Lounge. With Salma Kazi Wahab. 10 to 12. Latest machines. The celebrity artist legend.
حبيب رسول الله
News from the National World.
مصطفى مصطفى
The Sunday Lounge with Salma Kazi Wahab.
His Eminence Hazrat Maulana Ismail Pir Bhai Naqshbandi and Murideen invites you and your family to the Miladun Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Yarwi Sharif and 29th Urus Sharif of Hazrat Junaid Baghdadi and Hazrat Khaja Qibla Zinda Pir Naqshbandi Alayhi Rahma on the 16th and 17th August 2025 at the Masjid-e-Ghaus-e Azam in Escott. Ladies accommodation provided.
It's official. Checkers Foods Kawi Park is our first food store with a halal butchery, bakery and deli certified by NIHT, the National Independent Halal Trust. This will ensure high standards and ethical practices across our butchery, bakery and deli from farm to table. So visit Checkers Foods Kawi Park for an exceptional shopping experience that keeps getting better and better.
AI is changing the way we teach and learn. Are you ready to keep up? Join us for a dynamic seminar on how educators can harness artificial intelligence effectively in the classroom. Al-Ansar Hall, Overport, Saturday, 6 September from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Tickets 150 Rand, available at the Al-Ansar shop.
You're sitting down at a restaurant and your order arrives. What do you go for first? The shake, the chips, or the burger? At Wimpy, there's no wrong way to enjoy your meal. Treat yourself to a cheeseburger, small classic shake, and chips for just 99 Rand 90. Eat your burger with your fingers or a fork. You do you. Whoever you are, whatever you crave, however you like it. At Wimpy, you're always welcome. Promo available at Wimpy Sparks Road, Wimpy Atrium, and Wimpy Westwood only.
Get ready to elevate your fitness game at First Fitness in Durban's Berea. With a spacious free weight area, award-winning equipment, and exclusive ladies-only parking and training level, we've got everything you need to crush your goals. Hit the ground running on our outdoor track or unleash your inner warrior in our MMA and boxing dungeon. Plus, enjoy high security and ample parking. And don't forget to refuel at our Halal Coffee and Health restaurant for the best in coffees, smoothies, and healthy eats. Join us today and redefine your fitness journey. First Fitness, dare to be extraordinary.
Welcome to Simplex Radio. Visit our showroom for the full range of car audio. Our TV department carries top brands with quality LED panels, full HD to Ultra HD, and now the experience of Super Ultra HD. Visit our theater rooms and transform your home with brands like Onkyo, Integra, Denon, Boston Acoustics, Yamaha, and more for quality audio visual experience. Now available, full range of home appliances. A one-stop shopping experience. Call 031 306 4029 or Kenilworth Park, 202 Brickfield Road, Overport. Simplex Radio, the name you can trust.
Radio Al-Ansar, Durban, South Africa.
Welcome back. You're with Green Thumbs Up. We are talking about natural living, sustainable living, and we had a question just before the break. Yes, so you're in studio with me at the moment, Rabia Carvalho, and of course, Sibunesu Mkizi, our sidekick, sound engineer, and all-around helper here in studio. And we had a question before the break. Sister Miriam and her enthusiastic lemons. And we've had a response for you from Sister Nafisa, who says, salams. As the saying goes, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Yes, make lots of lemonade or juice them and freeze to add to your meals. There you go. You can juice them and freeze it. But do you know there's a lot that you can do with those lemons? And I know that you wanted a recipe for a sweetish kind of a relish. And for me, a jam is always a good one to go to. So you would take equal parts of your lemon, weigh them up, and equal parts of sugar. If you want a slightly bitter lemon, you leave a jam that's got a depth of flavor, not bitter, depth of flavor. Then you can take the whole lemon. If you're wanting a sweeter kind of jam, you're going to remove the pith, the white. So you can keep the rind, the thin rind, remove the white pith, keep the rest of the lemons, put them into the pan, cut them up very, very small, put them into the pan with equal amount of sugar and just kind of cook it down. And that'll give you a lovely jam. But you know what I do when I have enthusiastic lemons? Oh man, I love that word. I cut them, slice them up, and I put them in the oven on low heat, around about 40 to 50 degrees centigrade. And I just let them dry out. So then I can store them dry. And today is all about how to store stuff, also how to make your stuff last longer. So you could, with your lemons, you could make pickle. Yes, you said you don't much like pickle, but you could make a pickle. You could make a relish. There was a nice recipe that I found for you in terms of relish, and it was quite simple. They had garlic. What was it? Garlic. And, the recipe's gone. It was garlic, olive oil, your lemon that you have peeled and cut up into pieces. And you can put that all together, mix it all together, and you've got something really nice. You could also take your lemon and garlic and crush those together and put those into ice cubes and freeze them. You can also make lemon butter. You'll need a lot more butter to go with that lemon, but yes, you can use the rind, take the juice, freeze it, as Sister Nazreen has said. Take the rind, and you can add the rind with some herbs to some lovely butter. Mix it all nicely together. Put it into ice cube trays if you want to, or put it into a container in your fridge. Mark out the little cubes so that you can then use it at a later date. Add to that your garlic, add to that some chilies if you want, and you have got your own kind of spices just there, right there. Sister Sarah Randry says, Salams, Rabia. Walaikum salam. I have jasmine plants and noticed they haven't flowered in a very long time. Can I use acidic fertilizer? I would say rather take some pine needles if you can. Get some pine needles and use the pine needles as a mulch. She sent us some lovely pictures. Those are lovely plants, but add those pine needles as a mulch to the base of the plant and add some compost over the pine needles so that as you're watering, the compost and the pine needles basically are breaking down. You're getting more acidity in the soil without adding acid fertilizer, and you're getting a lovely compost, to feed your plants. For a fertilizer, remember, for flowers, you're wanting a fertilizer that from your N and your P and your K, you're wanting a higher K. So you go out and you say, I want to fertilize. There's an N and a P and a K. The K is the one that's going to give me flowers. That is the one that must be higher in whatever one that you use. Now, I do want to run through some of these tips. It's almost 9:15, folks. Time is flying. And something I didn't know. So when you buy strawberries, have you ever noticed that your strawberries die? And the minute you've got one moldy strawberry, all the strawberries go moldy. You got to kind of buy strawberries, bring them home, and eat them almost immediately because strawberries just don't last. Well, here's how you make your strawberries last. Your strawberries, your raspberries, your blueberries, and your grapes. Any berries, all the berries, gooseberries too. You take your berries, you put them into water, and into that water, you're going to add two things. You're going to add a little bit of apple cider vinegar. So if you've got a liter of water, you add a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, and you add 1 teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda. Yes, it's going to fizz. It's going to fizz. But why are we doing that? Because the bicarbonate of soda and the vinegar is going to help to get rid of the pesticides, first of all, and the vinegar is going to help your fruit to last longer. So if you buy organic, you can soak your fruit, that is your berries, all kinds of berries, and your grapes. You can soak it just in water with apple cider vinegar. If you bought from the corner store and you don't know that they're not organic, that means they might have pesticides on, add that apple cider vinegar and that bicarbonate of soda, because that's going to make it last longer. Strain them out and then put them in a jar. You need to store your fruit in a jar. Okay? Always store your fruit in glass jars. Work very, very well. When you put the lid on that glass jar with all of your berries inside, leave the jar lid a little bit loose so some air can get in. You don't want it to kind of rot in there, okay? For your leafy greens, you've bought lettuce and you've bought spinach, those things. We just stick them into the fridge like that in the wrapping that they come in. They're going to die. You have to use them quickly. So here's what you do. Get yourself an airtight container. Get yourself a plastic or even a fabric towel. Put some water in it, wring it out, and line that tray or that container with your paper towel or your damp kitchen towel, and then put your lettuce in there. Put the lid on and pop it in the fridge. It's going to last so much longer. For your carrots, your celery, your radishes, also keep them in glass jars. But guess what? Fill the jars with water. Fill the jars with water. Then cut up those carrots, those celeries, those radishes. Put them in the water, in the glass jar. Close it. Put it in your fridge. You're extending their lifespan by at least 2-3 weeks. Okay? So your broccoli and your cauliflower, we bring them home. They in that cling wrap nonsense. Take it out of that. Take it out of that. Wrap it loosely also in a damp cloth, or in, if you fancy, beeswax paper, if you're very, very fancy, if you Woolworths fancy, and put them in the fridge. For your herbs, jar of water, let them stick out that jar, but cover loosely with a cloth once again. So I keep telling you, your apples and your pears also, keep them separate. Often we put apples and pears and cucumbers and tomatoes and everything in the vegetable tray. It doesn't work. They die. Because why? Because some fruits and vegetables release chemicals over time. And those chemicals, things like bananas, also release chemicals. If you put bananas, you've got a fruit bowl, and you got your bananas, and you got your avocados, and you've got pears and apples. Your avocados are going to be happy because your bananas are going to help them to ripen. But your apples and your pears are going to go off really, really fast. Really fast. And here's a way that you can keep eggs. You can store eggs outside of the fridge on the countertop for around 3 months without them going off. South Africa, we're lucky. If you're buying good quality eggs, the eggs are not washed. But when you wash eggs, you're removing the protective layer from around the egg. So don't wash the eggs. What you want to do is take a nice coconut oil or a nice olive oil and coat your eggs. Rub your eggs in oil and then put them back into the egg box. Once a week, turn the eggs. Why? So that the yolk of the egg is not sitting down at the bottom all the time in the same place, so your eggs don't rot so fast. Let's take a few comments that have come in. There's quite a few. Thank you so much to all of you. We really appreciate your comments. 0609041056, or you can leave a comment on the social medias and we are here. So we have got Assalamu alaikum, first time listener. Hey. Welcome. Walaikum salam and welcome. We are absolutely enjoying your show and your exuberant personality. Oh, we do exuberant. We are enthusiastic, just like Sister Miriam's lemons. Hopefully sweeter. Sister Sarah Bibi Mustafa says, Assalamu alaikum, my dear Rabia. Walaikum salam. My salams and du'as to you and your family. A beautiful sunshine morning, a blessed gardening show. Yes, lemon pickles are very good in the summer. Send us your recipe, Sister Sarah. Send us your recipe. Have a beautiful, blessed Sunday. Everybody, Sister Sarah Bibi Mustafa in the CBD area, Jazakallah, to read my message. May Allah reward you abundantly. Always remember us in your du'as, inshallah. Sister Shaida Bibi Khan also has some tips for Miriam, who has that glut of lemons. And she says, I cut the lemons into halves, stick a few cloves in, add some salt, add a little softener. Ooh, and put them into the cupboards. It smells lovely. I would say take that lemon that's got stuff in and put it into a glass jar before you put it in the cupboard so that it doesn't spill. But you've given me an idea, Sister Shaida Bibi Khan, and that is candles. Now, we don't have so much load shedding now, but did you know that if you have a lemon, if you take the flesh, so you cut your lemon in half, and then with a spoon, remove the inside flesh of the lemon, leaving this little white pith stick. There's always this little white pith stick at the bottom. Guess what? You can turn that into a candle, and all you need is some oil. That pith becomes the wick for the candle. So you've taken the flesh out of that half of a lemon, leaving that central little bit in. If you have removed the little bit, then you can either get one of those tiny little floating votive candles, or you can use a normal candle wick, not difficult to get. And you can put your oil into that lemon rind and it makes a beautiful candle. The kids love to do this project. And if you are clever and you want to keep insects away, you don't have to go and buy citronella oil, although you can add some citronella essential oil into that oil when you make that candle to keep mosquitoes away. But you can also add into that oil cloves and lavender and things that smell beautiful like rosemary, and they will be a candle that gives you fragrance in the room. If you're adding eucalyptus, it dampens your electromagnetic smog. Now you've got a candle that's completely natural, completely biodegradable, made with oil in a lemon skin, with your cloves to keep insects at bay, your rosemary to purify the air, and your eucalyptus to get rid of electromagnetic smog. And Bob's your uncle. There you go. There you go. And we have another message here. I don't know the name, but salams. Walaikum salam. Love your bubbly personality. Have a beautiful Sunday. Inshallah, may you have a beautiful Sunday as well. Here we go. Assalamu alaikum. Another comment. We are in the Cape Town southern suburb and would like to buy a lemon tree for our small garden that we are starting. What do you suggest? We can't have deep roots or grow it very, very tall. Now, there are so many different kinds of lemon varieties, and there is one that starts with an M. I'm trying to remember it. Let me see if I can quickly find it. Lemon variety. It starts with an M, and it's a very Mayer, yes. Mayer lemons. I get very excited from Sister Suraya. Mayer lemons. Those are lovely lemons. You're going to obviously get a grafted root, because that's what a grafted tree, because that's what nurseries will sell you, so that you can have lemons within the year, and that should not grow too tall. The other thing you can do, whatever lemon tree you get, is you can trim the terminal buds. So as the lemon tree is growing, nip off those top buds. That encourages side growth, and it doesn't let the tree grow too tall. When you've got too much side growth, your lemons don't grow because you don't have sunshine. So get in there and prune it so that you don't have too many side branches in there. I hope that helps you, Sister Suraya. Another message here from Sister Hawa Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam, Sister Hawa. Jazakallah for an awesome program, Rabia. It was such an amazing day meeting you last week. Oh, you were there. How wonderful. How lovely to meet you too. I don't remember all the faces and all the names, but I'm so grateful to have met you. I make acha with lemons. She adds cranberry, kalunji, chilies, and ginger. Wow. So you've got a wonderful acha that's also a healing remedy, because look at that. You've got cranberry, which is fantastic for your body's pH. You've got kalunji, which is an all-round immune booster. You've got chilies that is going to improve your circulatory system and act as an anti-inflammatory. And then you've got ginger, that's a super anti-inflammatory. Another message that has come in. Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum salam. Please repeat how to make the natural candle with lemon. So you can use lemons or oranges or any other citrus fruit. Take your lemon, cut it in half, sideways, horizontally, right? So that the 2 points are on either end. Because from the point inside, whether it's the root point or the tip point, okay, the stick point or the tip point, you're going to find that there is, particularly on the base, there is, how do I explain this? Okay, think of your lemon. On the top of your lemon, you have pulled your lemon off the tree, off the stick, right? So that is the base of your lemon. That is where you're going to find the wick growing out. From the top, there's usually like a little star-shaped little leaf. The leaves basically have shrunk, right? So that is going to be your lid for your candle. So you can use the lid for your candle. Let's get really fancy. And you can have the kids cut little shapes out of it. So when the candle glows, it shoots shapes into the sky. Inside that bottom half, the bottom half of the lemon, remove the flesh without destroying the skin at all. You need to take a spoon and gently pull away the flesh from the lemon, being careful not to destroy that central white sticky thing. It's like a stick, okay, that comes from the base of your lemon. So what you end up with is with a shell, a bottom shell that's got this little stick sticking out, almost like an anthurium lily, right? Right. So into that, you're going to pour some oil, any oil of your choice. Olive oil is fine. Coconut oil is fine. In fact, coconut oil is fantastic because it has a higher burning temperature, heating point. But olive oil is great. Coconut oil is great. Don't use strong smelling oils like mustard seed. Okay, put it in there. Now you add cloves into there. As many as you want, add some cloves in there. you can make these candles without a lemon, but that's a whole other story. Add some cloves in there. Add some dry rosemary in there. Add some citronella essential oil if you want to keep insects at bay, although the cloves will also help with that, as will the lavender, as will the rosemary. The rosemary, add some dried rosemary needles in there. That's going to help to clean the air. And then you add some eucalyptus oil to it, just a few drops, to dampen electromagnetic smog. Now you light that wick, that little piece of the lemon that is sticking out, that becomes your wick, and you light it. And it's fantastic. The kids can cut shapes out of it, the lid, or you can have it without a lid. It's fine. You can put it in a glass jar. It works just as well. So just a quick, we've only got 3 minutes and I don't want to be late for the news. So I just want to give you a few storage tips. I told you about the eggs. Keep them in your cool, dry cupboard. Or if you want up to 3 months long, cover them in oil. Put them back into that grate in open air, into the egg grate, right? And then turn them every week or so. Turn them. For onions and garlic, don't put them in the fridge. Leave them outside of the fridge. The fridge is too much moisture. Put them in a mesh box, in a basket, never sealed plastic, right? That works. Your potatoes, keep your potatoes separate from your onions and from your bananas, because your potatoes with your onions are going to make them sprout. And how many of us have this basket? So do you have a basket where you keep your vegetables, your onions, your potatoes, you put them together? Don't do it. Do you keep them together? It causes your potatoes to sprout. So you don't want that. Keep them separate. Apartheid for the onions and the potatoes only. Only for onions and potatoes. Your bananas. Did you know that your bananas will last longer? If you take that tip of the banana, the long tip of the banana, and you can wrap that in either wet tissue paper. Okay, you could use plastic, but we're trying to get away from the plastic. So you wrap it in and then hang the bananas. Put them in a mesh bag. Keep those onion bags. Stick your bananas in there and hang them up in the air. Then they're not resting on anything. They're going to last much longer and they're going to ripen very slow. Don't put your bananas with the rest of your fruits. Your tomatoes, keep them out of the fridge. Did you know that?
I did, though.
Yes.
As we're talking right now, mine is on the fridge.
You see? As I'm talking, yours are in the fridge. No. Your tomatoes, keep the tomatoes upside down. That little rose section,
Yeah.
you know, the little leafy thing. That must be facing down. Store your tomatoes on a fabric, out of the fridge, out of the chiller, out of anywhere cold, just somewhere on a countertop, on a shelf, on a fabric or paper, upside down. That's the best. That is the best for your tomatoes.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
I've got so many more tips, but we've run out of time. Just one last comment that came in here from Sister Miriam. She's getting back to all of us, guys. She says, wonderful tips, have made notes and saved your Facebook program. Jazakallah khair to you, the listeners, and Sibanisu for getting it through to us. And on that note, it is time for the news at the top of the hour, 10 o'clock. And this is it from me, Rabia on Green.